In this video I will show how to use the Radias sound editor to create a simple bass sequence using the Arpeggiator and a simple drum pattern using the sequencer. So the Korg Radias can be used as a simple bass and drum machine. However, one important note about drum patterns on the Korg Radias, as far as I know, is that a drum pattern where multiple sounds occur in the same step, you cannot adjust the volume via the sequencer individually for each percussion sound. It can only be adjusted per step. So if you need drum patterns with more volume adjustment freedom, you are much better off using a more sophisticated sequencer or your DAW. Anyway, if you have not done already, go to Korg's website, look up support downloads for the Korg Radias. You want to download the sound editor. Nothing has been done with that, as you can see, for like 6 years. However, the drivers are updated more frequently, and it is very important you download the Korg Radias driver for your computer, whether it's Windows or Mac. Once you have downloaded and installed both the editor and the driver, you need to reboot your operating system, and after you reboot, go ahead and start the Korg Radias sound editor. We've got to maximize this window here to give us more room for all the little floating windows. The first thing you then want to do, first time you start it up, is go to Options, Preferences, and specify how you communicate from your computer to the Radias, to and from the Radias. I use a MIDI cable for note patterns from my master keyboard, and a USB cable to transfer data to and from the Korg Radias. Now go ahead and click File, New, and to see the program list, and to load everything from your Korg Radias, including drum sound, go ahead and click MIDI, Receive All Data. If you're using the USB cable for data transfer, it should only take a few seconds. Now, one neat way to use this software editor instead of using the Korg Radias itself to browse patches is you can simply click a new patch in the program list, and it immediately, well, within a second or so, loads that patch, the data, and it's ready to play. Anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a new program. So we're going to go to bank M0 to P16, go to the one called P01. If that's not free for you, find one that's free or one you want to override. Select it, click Edit. So this is just like on all synthesizers when you initialize a new program. To edit the timbre 1 sound here, click the edit button here on the synth, and you can see the waveform here for oscillator 1 is a saw. We'll turn the cutoff down here for the low pass filter in the filter section to get a very simple bass sound. Turn up the level a little bit, close that again. Now we want to assign where the notes should go to, what sequencer. We'll want to send them to the Arpeggiator. Then we'll go down here to Arpeggiator to turn it on. Click the Arpeggiator button. It will open up the Arpeggiator program window. I'm going to put it down here for now. Actually, I'll just leave it there for now. And we'll click Latch, and you can hear simple bass pattern. Just turn off a few of these steps. You can then Select the gate time, note duration for each step, and the velocity or volume if you want. So that's very simple how to use the software editor to get a arpeggiated sequence. Now you can just press notes on your keyboard. We'll turn that off again. So now what we want to do, let's turn timbre 1 off, turn on timbre 2, go up here to drum kit, select what timbre it should go to timbre 2, and click here to select whatever drum kit you want to use. I'll select this one right there. Alrighty. Now to identify which percussion notes go to what keyboard, make sure you have turned the arpeggiator off. I can see C2 is a kick sound, D2 is a snare sound, we have a clap on C3, we have closed hi-hat on F sharp. Now I'll go ahead and click the arpeggiator on again, click the sequence on 1 button, go down to C2, I'll zoom in a little bit so we can better see. Now I'll just create a simple 4 on the floor dance pattern. I'll go ahead and click latch and start it up. Of course I forgot to assign that sequence to sequence 1, my bad. Click sequence 1 here. Start up by clicking a note. Alright, there we go. Put in the snare. And D2. Simple hi-hat pattern here. Close hi-hat. And we'll do a clap here too. So the thing here, you can adjust volume for a step, but it will not adjust, you cannot, as far as I know, adjust the individual sounds in that step. Now let's go back and turn on timbre 1, turn that on. Now we have the bass sound there. It's running on C2 right now. Let's do E2 note. But as you can hear now, suddenly the drum sounds are low and changes in volume depending on what key I strike. Let's turn it off for a second here. So what happens here, if I go back and click the arpeggiated pattern here, you can see that the keyboard note range on both of them are the same. We want to change it so they don't overlap. So I'm going to take the bottom down to, let's say, B1. Simply click that top field and drag with your mouse. I guess we can take it down to B2. B2. There we go. And then we'll let this one start at C3. All that means is what note will start the pattern. Okay, now if I go back here and click on, when I click C2 on my keyboard, it doesn't start the drum pattern. For that I have to click C3 or higher. There we go. drum volume stays the same. But you can see here there's no way to change the level of timbre 2 when it's a drum pattern. So it's a little loud. Let me go back and not press so hard on C3. It's kind of a little awkward, I think, to use the Korg Radias as a standalone drum machine. But you can use it as a little bass sequencer and a drum machine at the same time if your needs are not too advanced. Anyways, I hope that helps you get going doing your own stuff. Thanks for watching.